Hey everybody, Mr. Pilgrim, and oh god, that was a horrible start. Anyways, where we left off, we got to Lost Bastille and everything. Now, one thing I also did forget to mention to do as involving Ben Hart. Now, come on, run! Come on, make it. Now, anyways, after you've freed Rosabeth and everything and unpetrified her, if you come back and talk to Ben Hart, he'll thank you. And you'll also be able to learn a gesture from him. And this will also help progress his storyline. Basically just, keep talking, keep talking. Alright, and there we go. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Nice, easy, breezy, beautiful. Ben Hart of Jugo Girl. Okay, so the next place we're gonna go to is No Man's Wharf. And we're gonna work on another NPC quest line. Yay, NPC quest lines. Just from here, let's go back to this tower. I mean bonfire. Ugh. Okay. And also, don't forget to equip that ring. God, I'm really bad at that. I'm sorry. This area you don't even have to give a shit about, honestly. You can just run right through it. Wrong way. Oh wait, nope. This was the right way. My bad. Or I'm just delusional. I guess while we're here, we'll just get this item, which I believe is a sublime bone dust. Yep. That'll actually come in handy. Can help strengthen our crappy ass Estus. Yeah, I look so beautiful. I'm kidding. I swear they need to add elevator music to those, man. That just make it so much better. Now, this area to my left, you will need a fragrant branch of yore to unpetrify that statue, but all you really get from that is just an Estus flash shard, and we don't really want one of those, or need one right now. And one thing I will point out as well is they did move, oh my god, Lucatila Mira from this location right here, because you'd normally talk to her up against this wall, and she'd be all, hey, super cool with you and stuff. You know, offer your help, give you an effigy. But alright, I'm gonna come right back after I've killed everyone. Yay! Alright, and welcome back. This is never fun doing this, but I figured it's the best way to help you. And before I forget, I should probably do something. I would recommend doing this. I don't know, well, if you're using this weapon, you shouldn't really need to use a torch, but it's always best just to light this area up anyways, in case you die or something, you know. Anyways, up in here, wrong way, up in here there's a chest that you can get. Now, I know I said in part 1 that I wouldn't do like a 100% walkthrough, but now that I realized, you know, after kind of going and clearing out all the enemies, that I'm pretty much already doing that anyways. So I figured, why not? Back here, some dark pine resin, which is actually pretty good. One thing I will say about this weapon, which I also learned that's super helpful, is that although you can't apply pine resins to it, you can infuse it. Like with miracles and sorceries and stuff like that. Now up in here, this is where Lucatiel is, so basically just want to exhaust all her dialogue. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry if you can hear me mashing X. Just, you know, once you see her say don't hesitate, then you're good to go. Now if you break these right here, you can get 3 more human effigies, which is actually pretty cool to get. It's gonna keep lighting things up. Now I'm gonna go up here and work my way back down to here. If that makes any sense. Now, if you have a torch, the enemies up on this ledge are actually they have a fear of fire or light sources. So having a torch would be good to fight them, but that'd be if you can, you know, use this weapon one-handed. Now here is a miracle that you want to pick up, emit force. Now, if you want to go get the great sword and stuff early on, you can go up in here. Be wary of the enemies I told you. They've got pretty much only 2 or 3 attacks that you need to worry about. But if they hit you twice, they will cause bleed damage to you, which can deal a lot of damage. So worry about that. Now, if you come up here and pull this lever, that'll get that ship, as you can see right there, to come into port. Now, I didn't bring it in just for the sake of it. And yeah, now if you drop down in here, there'll be 2 more of those enemies that'll cause bleed damage. But if you don't want to fight them, you can just walk back out this way and then drop down. And that's also where Lucatiel's summon sign is right there. Now anyways, if we come back down this way, also be careful, a shadow will drop down and try and surprise you like that. That's not fun. But as you can see, it wasn't a problem. Now if you come in here, I also left this area untouched just for the sake of things. Back here, there is some throwing knives and a flame butterfly. You actually want to get as many flame butterflies as you can early on. Oh god. In here is a fragrant branch of yore. And if you actually hit this wall, there's also a few items in here that you can pick up. Just a couple souls, and crap, I don't remember what's in this chest. Oh, okay, a ring, and then more souls and some life gems. Can't never have enough life gems. Now, if you want to open a shortcut back to the other side, then you can. You can come into here, and this is also where they moved Gavlan to. For those of you switching over from PS3 to PS4, they moved him from where you'd get the greatsword up there to down here. So if you pull this down, you'll unlock this gate, and this will allow you to come back here, and that way you can go back to the start. Oh, there's a chest in here up top with some more repair powder and some titanite shards. That's actually really good. If you come down here, there's actually a nice little sneaky hidden chest hidden behind the back here. Come on, open it up. Which will give you the full brigand set. Brigand, I really don't know how to say that set. But, and you're back here. If you want to use a Pharaoh's Lockstone over here on this pedestal to permanently illuminate the area, which will fear all those creatures that give you bleed, you can, but you're probably only going to need to come to this area once. You're never going to need to backtrack here. So I really wouldn't do it, and I don't suggest doing it. It's just a waste of a lockstone, in my opinion. Okay, now carrying on. Now if we come down here, there will be 2 more of those creatures in this building. Don't worry. They only take 2 hits with this weapon if you hit them right. Some more human effigies. Sweet. Now, if you want a shortcut back to the bonfire, there's this bridge right here that you can knock down. Now, sadly, if you don't have 11 intelligence, you cannot talk to Carhelion.
I am Carillion.
As you can see, he just shoos us away because I am currently at 5 intelligence. I'm apparently retarded in his eyes. Anyways, so yeah, that opens up a shortcut back to Carhelion, and I guess now we will have to backtrack here once we do have 11 intelligence in order to get him to go back to Majula. My bad. Now, if you want to summon Lucatil here, you can, but probably by the time she gets in here, all the enemies on this boat will be dead, and it'll be time to fight the boss in this area. Now, whenever you're doing NPC quest lines like Lucatil of Mira and Benhart, you want to make sure that they survive through the boss fight that they're, connected to. The best way to do that is to, sorry about that, is, kill all the enemies in the area and then go summon them. As you can see, she now has full health and is ready to help me fight this boss. One thing I will say though is sometimes the water in this boss room will rise and fall, so just be aware of that. But it still shouldn't be a problem. Now with the help of Lucatil, if you really want to try and sacrifice her so you can make this fight easier on yourself, you can. But with as you can see with this weapon, it's really not even a problem. I was kind of hoping I could do this without taking damage. And if you get around half health in this fight and you've got an Estus to chug or something, go for it. But yeah, this boss isn't really hard. I mean, for anyone playing on PS3, I know you can't get the Black Knight Halberd, and I should have said that in part 1, and I'm sorry about that. So it's probably best if you do grab the Fire Longsword and maybe get a couple other weapons to use, as backup. But that was No Man's Wharf, and also before you touch that dial right there, open this chest to get your Pyromancy Flame and your first Pyromancy, the Fireball. I'll just ring this bell and go to the Lost Bastille. Alright, now in here, all we simply want to do is, just casually make your way through. More arrows, I'll take that. Ride this elevator up. Don't I just look so pretty? My expressionless face. I'll also show you how to get that item. I look like I just want to kill myself. It's probably how I'm gonna feel after I finish this. And one thing I also forgot to mention is that this is going to take about 2.5 playthroughs of the game. I know that sucks, but it's the only way that you can really do it to get the platinum, because there's 3 specific items that are supposed to be Covenant related. That, well, I guess PvP related if you really want to talk, know about it. But the thing is that trying to do PvP now on Dark Souls 2 is pretty much dead, to me at least. With Dark Souls 3 out and this game coming out, well, the remastered in 2015. So I highly doubt a lot of people are going to be PvPing on Dark Souls 2. But anyways, as I was saying, for those 3 items, it's 2 miracles and 1 pyromancy. And how you get them is from Chancellor Welliger in Castle Drangleic. That's the only way to really get them. And in here is our bonfire. But yeah, you basically have to go to New Game plus 2 in order for him to sell you those 3 remaining items. Almost every other trophy you'll have in your first playthrough except for 4, and that's for all of the miracles, pyromancies, sorceries, and hexes. You'll get the sorcery and hex one on your second playthrough of the game, and that's because of the new unique boss souls that's dropped from the first 4 main bosses, or the ones that are connected to the primal bonfires. Anyways, I'm going to go back to Majula and level up my intelligence and see if we can get Carhelion to come back to Majula. Come on, stand up. Okay, that was actually perfect. That's exactly what I needed. Whew, that was a close one. Might as well upgrade our Estus flask again. And while we're at it, we might as well burn this sublime bone dust. Now, what we're gonna go back and do is simply just talk to Carhelion and get him to travel back to Majula. And I'm also really sorry to anyone who hears me and goes, damn, this motherfucker repeats himself a lot. I have a bad habit of doing that, and I do apologize. So before you crucify me for repeating something 5 times, just so you know, I know. Now, one thing I almost forgot to mention while here is that you can summon Bradley of the Old Guard to kind of somewhat help you through this area. Not really completely, but he can be a great asset when trying to go through this area. Alright, no one gonna... We've got one contender. And I fucked that. I fucked that up. How could I? I'm a failure, but I got a weapon out of it. Cool. Okay. I'm not sure if you actually have to buy something from him, but just to be safe, I'm gonna use some souls here. Wow, that's like nothing. Come on, I need some souls. Come on. There are a few boss souls that you're probably not going to use, but just as of right now, don't trade any boss souls to make weapons at all. Just don't. One thing I will say is just buy a few sorceries from Carhelion, I think, and talk to him a few times until he starts repeating himself, I guess. And then I'm gonna homeward bone. And then we're gonna go check Majula to see if he's here. I'm gonna have part 2 be super short. And the reason why I'm kind of having part 2 be super short is because I wanted to include the Lost Bastille and Sinner's Rise, but if I tried to combine both of those areas like I did in part 1, it'd be kind of lengthy, and I don't like doing that. And as we can see, Carhelion is here. Yeah, I don't give a shit. But yeah, this is, you know... I'm sorry if you don't like a really short Dark Souls 2 episode, but I want to try and do them, you know, in a sequential order of how you would play through the game. I know if I'm rambling on and you just want me to shut the fuck up, I will. But yeah, I just figured that I'd have part 2 be just the No Man's Wharf. That way it's short, simple. It's something that's easy to figure out and do. That way, whenever I do Sinner's Rise, I can do Sinner's Rise and Lost Bastille, and even Belfry Luna, which is 3 areas in one. That one, I know for a fact I'm not going to do 100% on. Too much shit to try and cover. But anyways, adios.